Hello, Christina. How are you, my friend?
I'm alive.
You're alive. It's always good to see you, Christina. You and Martin absolutely made my
Here I
day,
am.
especially. So I
Yeah,
absolutely I
Green. I told
I
Vince on my live stream earlier about the troll.
so I
I'm having
I
a little.
absolutely appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
I let
thank
Vince
you.
know about the troll that I sent to Peter, and he handled it very well. And let me tell you, he is off of taps. He is gone.
Hey, Bruce, how are
It was
you?
it was a she. It was a she,
Yeah,
and
Hmm.
I found it quite hilarious. You know, some of the things that she was saying to Dawn, and some of the remarks she was making, and I found it hilarious because, I mean, she had her profession up as an escort,
Hmm.
and she had one of the weirdest, ugliest, I don't want to be judgmental, but it was all the classic weird angle camera down below, and
Right.
and kind of mushed in, and kind of
Hmm.
looking off to the side. She didn't she didn't look um she didn't look healthy. She didn't look happy, right?
Hmm. Right.
And it's just like, and she had her profession as escort, and I'm just looking at this and I'm like, oh honey, you don't want to be throwing rocks, when you live in a glass house.
Right.
And it's just like it was. I am so happy, you were there, Eric. But yeah, it was like poor Don. He's been rolling with it though. He was on our broadcast earlier tonight,
Okay.
and
That's good.
he's
That's
now
good.
calling himself a moose.
Perfect. Moose. That sounds better. It
Well,
sounds better.
she called him an overweight fat moose,
Thank you, Bruce, for the high award.
which is
Why
just,
why would they say that?
I don't. It's the
That
weirdest insult I have ever seen.
that,
It was just,
that literally
hey
doesn't make
Bruce.
sense.
no, it
How's it going,
doesn't.
Bruce?
So now he's laughing about it. He's calling himself the moose now.
Oh man. I
But yeah. I can tell you this. I can tell you this. When Peter emailed me back, he said that the half team was on it already, and then when I looked on his replay,
hmm.
the 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 whole account was off. It was
Oh,
Nice.
it
banned.
was?
It was banned.
Good.
That's
Good,
good.
good, good. Yeah, I hit the what I wound up doing is when I went over to her profile, I hit the spam button, and
Uh-huh.
in the little box where you write things in, I said abusive behavior.
Right.
And that's what I submitted like right away. So that was I guess it's a shortcut way to do it.
Yeah, it is a shortcut way.
So yeah, I was very happy at the response. And Don's such a good sport. We kind of made him an honorary Canadian way back when he came up. He used to come up all the time for Canada Day and play bagpipes in
Oh, okay.
our parade entry for Canada's birthday every year.
Mm,
So we kind of told him he was an honorary Canadian back then. So now that he's been called a moose, he's calling his honorary Canadian status official.
the official Moose Clan.
He is now the moose bagpiper.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. So, what? When did that troll actually came in? Like right in the middle of it, or in the beginning?
Yeah, he was bagpiping and he was playing. He had his small pipes out because his big pipes will just blow the microphone.
Mm,
And he had his small pipes out and he was playing and he was doing his history, which he
mm,
loves, telling people about history, especially of the music he plays.
right.
And yeah, she just came on and she started with a WTF,
Oh boy.
and then she said that he looked like an overweight moose,
Mm,
and that he should get off the internet because the noise he's making is horrific, and started going on about how he's untalented. And I think the final straw for me was when I saw the comment about he should jump off a cliff and see if he could fly.
oh boy.
And it's just
See,
like, not even creative. Like, the least she could have done is done something creative, but,
it,
you know,
it's not, people just
uh,
troll when they talk like a 5-year old. I'm like, are you serious? That's like kind of stupid on their part. That's
Mm-hmm.
really stupid. I don't get it.
Was it
Well,
was the
especially
person
since,
was the other was the other person on Haps?
yeah, she was.
Oh, it was on apps. It's not outside.
Yeah. No, she had a Haps profile. I screen captured it so I could keep it just in case Dawn needs it, because you never know, right?
Right. Did you send that screenshot to? Did you send that screenshot to Peter? That way the rest of the team know.
Oh, I could. I could still send it and just say if you want to archive this.
Yeah, I think you should
Because
because we don't need. We really don't need any kind of trolls down here.
no, well,
We want.
I do that with everything, like even on Facebook and and all that stuff. Like I've been kicked out of groups on Facebook for the most ridiculous reasons, and I always screen cap because I have
I
friends in those groups,
we-
right? And I want to make sure they're okay.
yeah. I, I I should have been there. I should have been there for Dawn, but I was like out of it. I
It's
was out
okay,
of it.
darling. We
I
had your
stayed,
back.
thank you. I stayed up this morning till 6 a.m. I like, because me and Eric we were on Tina's stream like for like 3 hours, right, Eric? 3 hours and 7 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When her live ended, I fell asleep. I fell asleep and I was um I was so tired, so I fell
Oh wow.
asleep.
Yeah, Michelle says send it. Send it. The moderation team has an email.
Yeah,
Oh that that
Michelle, I sent the screenshot to Peter. I posted it on his the screenshot to Peter on the email, and he emailed me back in like a minute
Hmm.
or something,
Right.
and he said the moderation team is on it, and
Oh, good.
then
so
when
so
I went back on his replay, it was no
Uh,
more. Like the account was no more. It was banned.
so wait, Bruce. There's
so
trolls on MySpace as well.
oh there some people attract it more than others, honey. And
Mm.
different kinds of focuses have different kinds of trolls.
Oh, okay.
Michelle, for everyone's benefit, would you like to type out, or if someone could type out what the actual email address is for the moderation team? That would be great. We can all do a screen cap. I'm sure every device out there can do a screen cap, but it might be great for all of us here to be able to do a screen cap of that email address so we all have it handy in the near future. If anyone could type that
Yeah.
out, that would be great.
Oh, hold on.
Um,
Let me put this up.
Yeah.
yes, please.
When Peter email me when I sent him everything, it was like only a minute.
Okay,
Yeah,
Michelle.
it was only a minute.
Go. Yeah,
Well,
go
yeah,
check out.
and
Yeah, go check out the Q&A. Peter put up the moderation email. Go check out their Q&A. It's up there. It should be. It should be up there.
cool. Yeah, I do a lot of screen capturing. It's the
Yeah.
easiest, quickest way. And then once I write it down somewhere or send a message once, then I'll delete it. I'll get rid of it so that
Right.
my system doesn't get overrun with all these pictures and images and oh my god. Uh, but no, like I mean, for example, when I'm on Periscope alone,
Mm.
for example, if I'm doing something without Martin, I'm much more. I was originally trained as a kid to be a reporter. So for me to be on things like this and to talk a lot and it's a big thing for me. But for him, he's much more, personal and, alone time.
Right.
So I would be on alone a lot. And when I would go on alone, I would get all the rude remarks. I would get all the, hey, honey, drop your pants type things, or,
Yeah, cause on.
compliments
Right.
compliments that I look younger than I am, but that means I'm obligated to them type thing. So but when Martin and I are together, it's a whole different thing. They challenge him, or they'll be rude to him, and then kind of sleazy kind, but kind to me. So yeah,
Right.
there's trolls everywhere. There's trolls everywhere.
Yeah, especially on Periscope when girls are like laying on their bed and everybody will just come in and talk about their breasts or something else or feet. I'm like, you guys are gonna be crazy. You guys are gonna be crazy.
Hmm. Well,
That's why Periscope's going down the tubes.
Periscope's
No one
really
cares.
easy.
No
Um,
one cares.
well, Periscope is just it's a really it's a two user it's too user friendly. You don't have to think about anything to use it.
Mm,
So it's really easy for trolls to use it, and they'll go on and they'll
yeah.
move on to the next one, and they'll just keep going from app to app to app. Hang on, I gotta grab my phone. There we go. They'll just keep going from app to app to app, but they always go for the easier apps first.
Hey
Like
Don, how
Instagram.
are you?
There, we were
Hey
just
Don.
see.
We were just talking about you.
You talk
So Don,
about the bagpiper devil, and he shows up.
You wanna come to my video chat and talk about this?
Don, we were talking about your unique troll, and now you are the moose.
The moose, aka the moose. So you wanna come to
You
my video chat so we can get the fact straight of what really happened?
the facts. Get the facts. I'm game. There you go.
Alright. I'll invite you, dude.
But Yuke's very right about the whole. Periscope was not a very good financial model.
Right.
It was only a matter of time before they ran out of money, let alone anything else.
Okay, Don, I just invited you.
Mr. Scobie, I can't get enough of you.
Christina, this is what I'm having right now. Is wavy Pringles.
Is what?
I'm having wavy Pringles.
Oh, look at that! Nice. How do they taste?
I'm gonna eat right after my broadcast. All right,
We we
Don.
had we had our
Hey,
homemade ice
There
cream.
it is.
All right, Don. Let's give us the scoop of what really happened.
uh, mind you, I'll probably do this with quite a bit of chuckling because
It's
maybe I might preface with saying I've dealt with stalkers before, but I've
Uh-huh.
not actually dealt with trolls like this. So I won't say that one is less than the other, but they're two different flavors.
Hmm.
And at least this one, once I finally got to see the comment, to me it's just laughable. So I've had a good chuckle since about 3 p.m. today. So
Uh,
7 hours of chuckling at somebody else trying to take me down. It's just there's a bunch of weird, stupid silliness to it.
hmm.
So that said, and by the way, I don't. Well, let's see, Eric, you came to my video before, and I think Vince, you've seen rebroadcast on
Yeah.
some of
I
my.
think the
Okay,
rebroadcast of it.
okay, so I mean, in a way, high for the first time, but uh, yeah. So all I can say is that what last year, once quarantine stuff started happening, um, it made sense for me to take my small pipes, which in this case is a type of Scottish bagpipe that I play. And as we're looking at Christina's scally cap there, which appears to be black watch tartan, which is awesome.
Oh, darn, honey.
Nice.
Yeah, Black Watch.
That,
So the thing is not quite a year ago, I started live streaming performances,
mm,
really, not even really caring like how good they are, just trying to do something for people and give a musical release and hopefully something that is a break from quarantine. And ending my shows with a word of encouragement, really,
mm.
longer winded, but much like what Christina does with the end of her shows of saying, I mean, your line basically is nobody can take you down lower than you can take yourself. So don't do that.
Right.
So anyway, with resuming doing these broadcasts lately, I've just started doing them every Friday. I've enjoyed the addition of Haps with its different features and what Thank you. What and where it looks to be going as the app continues to develop, as the community continues to develop. I like the fact that it has the tip feature, all of that. And while doing my broadcast today, I started seeing a number of comments come up that just said, "This comment is blocked. This comment is blocked. This comment is blocked." It was about 8 of them in succession, quick succession.
Wow.
And yeah, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on there. And when I'm not playing, I try and read
Hey,
the
Ari, how are
comments,
you?
acknowledge the people that are there, and interact and answer questions. And I don't just do music because me being
Right.
me, I got to talk about the instrument and the history and
Mhm.
a bunch of stuff that because people need some help falling asleep, I guess.
Right. So
Right.
Don, let me ask you a question.
Falling asleep.
Do you do like street performances?
I have in the past. Yeah, I've been a busker before. In fact, I used to pay my rent that way. Um,
Uh-huh.
I did that for 3 years. So, and part of it too, it's good that you brought that up because, quite
Yeah.
frankly, I am well accustomed to dealing with drunks, dealing with all kinds of jerks, being on the
Right.
street.
Super
So
high
today
roll.
here, I see these 8 comments in succession that I can't
Mhm.
read,
Right.
but I see Eric, I see Christina and Martin. I don't know if it was one or both of you watching or what. And then also Jeff, Kilted Dragon. They're
Okay.
turning around, and I quickly realized that they're turning around and saying to whoever this person is, "Hey, if you don't like the show, if you don't like what's going on, just get out of here. There's no call to
Yeah.
be a jerk." And
You don't
I
exactly. You don't
realized,
have to make. You don't have to make all those kinds of comments. If you don't like the contents, press the S and get out. That's it.
Yep.
right, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Vince, that's what I was saying to the person. I was like, if you don't like what you see, you can leave and press the X at the top.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
then
Exactly.
I was my typical self where I was saying things like she doesn't know what an X is, or she would have found the treasure by now. Um,
But Don? Do you know how old she was, or whatever?
no, see, there's the thing. I mean, basically, I'm seeing Christina and Martin, who are real life friends who live across the country. I'm seeing new electronic friends, for lack of better terms, between
Right.
Eric and Jeff, backing me up. And like, it's really good to have friends like that. And I'm grateful for that. And it wasn't until I was done with my broadcast, fortunately, I think it was yourself, Eric, who put her handle there. So I was able to go to her profile because she already got banned because you guys brought in the Haps team. She had already
Right.
gotten banned, I guess, from Haps.
Right.
I was able to block her. No, I viewed all of her comments and then I blocked her. And after I blocked her, all of her comments disappeared, which I kind of don't really care one way or the other because I'm not going to save those. But when I read the
Right.
comment, I just started laughing because she immediately came on and said something like, "Bagpiper Dawn, you're ugly. This is really awful. I'm cringing." And then like her last beautiful line was, um, "You look like an overweight moose." Like, where did you come up with that?
Wow.
I tell you, it's because you're an honorary Canadian, hun. I tell you, that's the only reason she thought about it.
I guess. I mean, and the funny thing is, I mean, there's plenty of talk from plenty of people about body consciousness and acceptance, and
Right.
or even to say if somebody's turning around and saying, "Gosh, I'm overweight and I'd like to lose weight," to turn around and say, "Hey, go for it. I support you in that. I'll be your friend." Whatever it is, or whatever, or I want to quit smoking. Right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool, great, do it. Great.
Yeah.
I've never had a weight issue. If anything, I mean, at this point, 47 and well into metabolism changing and you know, not losing those little couple of extra pounds like I was able
For
to
the
before.
heavens.
Right.
It's not something that's terribly on my mind, but it was really kind of odd for somebody to turn around
I
and,
hear you. Ari. I
call
hear
me
you.
obese, with.
Ari, you were asking who it is. If you go to Dawn, this is an excuse for you to go to Dawn's because I've blocked her. Dawn's blocked her. I've got a screen cap, but my computer's off because I was using the computer at the time. But if you go to Don's profile, and while you're there, subscribe to him.
Yes.
But you should be able to see it in his last broadcast, like earlier today, and you'll see her lovely. You'll probably see her
Charming.
lovely remarks. But it was something
Uh,
like my
What
you
was it?
me or
What
something like
was her
that.
profile? Her profile pic.
It
What was
was
it?
it was like,
mention her apparent profession.
oh yes, she's
Ooh.
an
Oh.
escort apparently.
Ah. An escort for what?
Usually, when a woman says she's an escort, that means she's a sexual escort.
Ah. Okay.
Which is why I said when I looked at her photo and it looked really depressing, like she did not look happy and it was a weird angle and you
And
saw her
hypocritical
body
about
in
it.
a, yeah, and
Her.
she looked
Did
like,
she? She probably looked sad on that pic, right?
yeah, she my Martin's in the background going discount escort.
Yeah, I'm not sure she was high rent enough to just escort.
Oh
uh,
man.
but yeah, if you're going to plug yourself as an escort, least you can do is be kind to the guy who might pay your bills.
Hey,
So
hey, hey,
Absolutely.
hey,
Which
Vince,
is
you want me
probably
to
Mm.
why
bring up?
she likes being
Hey, Vince,
kind
you
to
want me to bring
me.
up that time that person was on my live? My live. I want to bring it up with Christina and Don. I think Don or Christina doesn't know about this.
oh,
So this is what happened. So
I was there for the tail end of it.
yeah. So if you saw this Crystal Medina person on Haps, this Crystal Medina person, you saw what she was saying, right, Don?
Like I said, I was there at the tail end, so I just saw kind of the last little bit of the storm out the door sort of comments.
Yeah. So
what happened?
what this person was saying? So said I have a messy room. It said
Oh
that
yeah,
I
I was there for that, Eric.
needed to
I was
have a
there for that.
shower because this person said that I smell like horrible, and I'm like you know you know you know you know why be on a broadcast and bully me and hate on someone like that and
Oh, honey.
say all that stuff about someone like that. And I'm
See, I wish.
you have to look you have to look in a better way. If you want to
Well, hold
bully
on, I'm going to
people,
scratch and sniff your part of my screen, and let's see if you smell it. No, you're
Yeah,
oh
good,
my
man.
goodness.
that's exactly what I would have said, and that's what Martin and I wanted being well known for on Periscope. Is if
But
someone had said that to me, my first thing would be like, "Oh, damn it, Martin, we turned the scratch and sniff on. Turn it off, quick, turn it off." Um,
If
but
if Haps had a smell of vision, that would be like funny.
And as for a messy room, creative mind.
Messy
Yes.
office.
You would not believe how much mess we hide when we go to air. You would not
Oh
that,
believe what this
boy.
place looks like.
that's why I have the camera this way.
You see how my bed looks? It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. You're living in it, honey, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's your
just don't fall
space.
asleep, Vince.
Well,
I like
well, go ahead, Eric.
I would say if everyone has a messy room, it's not the person's problem. It's the person that's saying it. The person that's saying it in the chat and stuff. But like if the
Well,
person starts up with something more worse than that, then that's where you step in and you step in and you figure out who this person is, what this person is or this person's from, and I'm like, when I saw her page and stuff, she had she had like no 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 like escort escort or anything like that. It was just blank. This person was like blank and stuff. People need to be rude to make themselves feel better. It's yeah,
Yeah, I agree
exactly.
on that. I agree.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
well,
and
I
there's
mean
two.
I
that's
mean
how I resolved on this thing. Is I just looked at it and said, whatever your thing is your thing. I mean, if you're an escort, you're an escort. If you're lying, you're lying. If it's your picture, if it's not, whatever. All I know is that after the fact, is, or at least 50% during and 100% after the fact, is for whatever reason you decided to come on my broadcast while I'm doing other people a favor playing music live.
Mhm.
That I've been studying since 1988. So, no small thing. Whatever, right? All I know is that
Right.
she came on and decided to take this attacking sort of angle. And
Mhm.
in the end, I mean, with various different little writings that I posted, I said, once I read those, I mean, it just none of that stuff resounded with me. But also, I can look at it and say, thank you for helping to show me where my self-esteem is today.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
But the bigger best thing that I can do is approach this with compassion and say, whatever's going on with you, whether you're having a bad day, you dislike your job, or how your dress fits, or whatever it is,
Right.
I wish you the best. I hope you're the best. I hope that somehow you come around and see that doesn't work for you to treat other people that way, or whatever it is. So, I mean,
Right.
in a
Exactly.
nutshell, other people say, I will pray for you. And that's the thing, is I can only hope the best for her. I don't know what your problem is. You didn't
Hey Raymond, how are you? Go ahead.
really. I mean, you gave me a good laugh, and thank you for that.
Anyway,
But
man.
wish you the best. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Hey,
on
hey,
yeah, on
Don.
Periscope. On Periscope, when I was broadcasting, I had people saying, why your eyes squinting? Why you talk so funny? Why you look that way?" Oh, like, okay, this
It's
this
an expression we used to use
silly.
is
It's silly.
hiding behind the keyboard. As long as you're behind the keyboard, you're safe, and that's that's a philosophy a lot of these people have. So they get on and something's happening with them or something's not happening with them, or they're living life well, and like Don says, maybe there's something went wrong that day,
Hmm.
and they've got this energy and they don't know what to do with it, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they feel safe because they're not in the same room as you, so they take a lot of risks that they would never take if they were face to face with you. If they were
Right.
face to face, they wouldn't have said a thing.
Okay. Now you're back.
Yeah, yeah, people just, it's become, first of all, I want to apologize on behalf of all Gen Xers. We're sorry. Um, we thought by encouraging things like computers and internet that the world would be this big, happy, fluffy place with all this communication, and we never thought this would happen. We really never thought this would be the results.
Yes. 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 I just hope the
um,
team will. I just hope the team will take care of the lag before Periscope shuts down. Because I mean, that's the priority. Because they got to take care of
mhm,
that first. You got to take care of that first.
mhm. Well, and it's like I was saying before. There's a huge expense in doing something like this, and they're dealing with a lot of different third-party, servers, and they're growing really, really, really fast. So
Right.
I'm kind of hoping that if the right type of people are invited, that there is a higher percentage of viewers and sponsors and
Mm-hmm.
award givers than there are broadcasters,
Right.
because then that'll balance out nicely. If you got a really high percentage of people where you do not have to save everyone's broadcast because they're watching all the time,
Right.
and you got a nice rounded subject matter across a few different genres and focuses, where they'll be getting the tips more than giving the tips, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Right.
you get a nice balance. But so early in the stage, we have no way of knowing. I mean, you just don't know. You're just going to saturate the app and cross your fingers. Um,
I just hope they don't saturate the app with a bunch of uh, garbage or whatever.
you can't control that, right?
I,
You just
I
have
know
to
you
live
can't
it.
control it, but I'm just hoping that app doesn't end up like Periscope. I'm just
Mm.
hoping. I'm just hoping.
Well, in the humble beginnings of Periscope, I remember when they were a team of 9 people, and I was able
Now,
to get a hold of
yeah,
them
now
and I was
they're
able to
yeah,
communicate.
now they're
And
the team of none.
but yeah, I
They went
remember
from
all
nine
those.
people to three, and now none. Like,
It was so easy
go ahead, guys.
communicating
Go,
with
go
them when
run
they
the
were nine and
asylum. Go
growing.
ahead.
Sorry?
It's like they did. I mean, it's like the team didn't care. Everybody was on it. Kids, people smoking, or people getting high, or whatever it is. Just let everybody run the asylum.
I'd like to address Ari there. Honey, you do. I don't know what generation you're in, but I am a Gen Xer. And we did. We were the ones that sang, the Coca-Cola ads and liked to teach the world to sing, and we fought against racism on a level that the previous generation hadn't, and we were much more open to being gay or bi, or we still had a lot to go, and we ran out of time for our generation to be able to have that influence before handing it over to the generation after us. But
Mm,
yeah, we really like. I mean, I had friends that were preppies. I had friends that were goth. I had friends that were metalheads. Hell, there's video. I found it. I stumbled on it in one of my drives the other day.
mm.
A video of me with my teased up hair and my blue streaks and my shaved off
Wow.
eyebrows, and with a guitar in my hand, air guitaring to "It's My Life," and we didn't think too much about it.
Mm,
We did the little taking on each other's little wars, but
right.
we just agreed. Like I would, when I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show every Friday night, there were all different types there. But when we left,
Mm,
the preppies went off with the preppies, and the punks went off with the punks, and
right.
the metalheads went off with the metalheads, and you didn't think twice about it. But I looked like Boy George or Cyndi Lauper, depending on what mood I was in. And yeah, we really wanted to break down these barriers. I don't think
Right.
the way I put it is, we tore down the houses and the walls,
Mm,
and we created a foundation in its place, but the foundation was never finished in
right.
time for the next generation to build a house.
Mm-hmm.
So we've left you guys with faulty foundations. And some of
Right.
us will make it up to you, and some of us
But
won't.
but
We'll have to wait and see.
Exactly.
we didn't.
Go ahead, Don. Uh oh.
We didn't what?
See, that's the problem right there. The thing's breaking up. That's the only problem. All right, Don, go ahead,
That's
continue.
right. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning when the world was turning.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, Billy Joel. Yes.
And for the longest time, I thought that was midnight
Uh,
oil.
What?
I thought it was midnight oil.
Poor
Don,
Don.
I'm embarrassed by you now. I am really embarrassed by you
I only
now.
got
I
that
am
figured
so
out like in the
embarrassed.
last 2 years.
Poor Don.
His
Oh,
internet,
poor Don.
Vince,
Yeah.
his internet went is going. Ugh.
Go ahead, Don. Continue. Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Oh,
Uh,
yes,
uh,
Raymond is right. The trolls will hop over to Haps once Perry's gone. They'll probably hop over to a lot of places. But one thing the one place I found the least amount of trolls on is Instagram, but Instagram doesn't properly archive or save your broadcast.
they
So
don't.
it's hard to reference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it disappears. It
you can't
disappears
reference it
24
later
hours.
on. Yeah.
After all that, it's already gone.
So you can't. We gave up on using Instagram because we couldn't say to someone, "Oh yeah, we already showed you how to build that. Go to this broadcast at this link and
Right.
take it from there. Ask us some questions on the next broadcast. We'll continue on," as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to constantly going back.
Right.
And we couldn't do that with Instagram because it was 24 hours later it's gone. So the trolls don't like Instagram because their stuff can't stay around. Their stuff can't stay on air more than 24 hours. So
I think
it's
the trolls should go on Instagram. It would be better for them instead of going
No, no,
from
not
place to
even,
place.
not even. Vince, no, 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 not
I'm
even
only
on Instagram
kidding.
because there's kids on there.
I
There's
know.
kids
I'm only
on
kidding.
the app.
I
yeah,
know.
You don't want that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying
yeah.
we don't want any trolls on any social media, especially Instagram.
Honey,
Yeah,
we're
Especially,
human beings. It's never going to happen.
yeah, it's
I think,
inevitable.
yeah.
yeah, I think the most aggressive trolls on the planet are the ones on TikTok. I don't know
Oh,
why.
I dealt with those things on TikTok. Oh, they were like bad.
Yeah, TikTok's got some really aggressive, insulting. I think it's because TikTok doesn't put too many parameters on people using swear words.
Right.
So it attracts that aggressive troll, it attracts that type of
Mm-hmm.
troll. But some of the, so I've had some friends who just, they're calling me up long distance from British Columbia and they're just like, I wish you were here because we would do TikToks together and you can help. And I'm like, I may be in Toronto, but tell me what
Mm-hmm.
you need. Let's do some cascading stuff. Let's do some, and let's fight these. Let's get you comfortable again to be on TikTok because you love it so much. And yeah, I've been keeping weird hours every once in a while when someone says to me, I need help, and they want to do set where I pick up and what is it called now? Not sorry, duets.
Duets.
But they want to do duets because, and they want to put it on our profile so that they're not getting the same trolls. And
I'm hearing
sometimes
that.
it works,
Oh, okay.
sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
You never really know. But yeah,
Yeah,
dad.
And
TikTok
that
is fun, but go ahead, Don.
Oh, it's just for the couple of years that I've been on the internet, and I am being sarcastic because it's a lot. Um, for the couple of years that I've been on the internet and seen flame wars and all this other stuff, I think today might actually have been the first time that other users turned around and said, "Hey, no, that's not okay. Hey, if you got a problem, get out of here." Whatever it
Right.
was, and not to say the sort of thing like it's not like I can't fight my own fights. I mean, whether or not I can, to me, what was great is that it was a predominant number of people turning around and saying that's not the atmosphere, that's not acceptable. And I mean,
Right.
it was four against one, and the people were um, largely to say composed, polite, but said, no, that's not okay. And by it being four people versus that one, it's four people saying, no, this is the atmosphere here. And it
Mm-hmm.
is predominant that this is the atmosphere. And gee, great, whether that's, here, Facebook, or wherever, let alone the workplace, the street, whatever it is. I mean, I've seen plenty of times. I mean, best worst example was actually a time that I was busking downtown Seattle, and I saw an older woman attacked as the tool of a gang initiation.
Oh
She
my
was,
God.
yeah, she was just a victim of this thing, and it was the young women that were attacking her, and out of a street full of people, it was only myself and two other people that tried to do anything to stop this, right? So I mean, this is an actual physical attack as opposed to the trolling thing where somebody's coming in and pulling some garbage. But in this case, it's the scenario is the same, where other people did step up and say, no, this is done, this is over, you can stay here if you're going to behave, or you can go if you're not. And
Right.
it was really really great that not only did you guys with my situation today, not only did you guys get a hold of the HAPS team also, but I saw that you took screenshots and everything like that. I mean, you did everything right.
Right.
So did the HAPS team, because Pablo and Peter were tagged.
Mm-hmm.
And I approached them later because they were doing one of their update meetings and just said, hey guys, thank you for handling that. And they came back and said, it was the HAPS team that handled that. We didn't personally. Hey, whoever, great on the HAPS team. And everything was done right. And just the same as that street attack I saw years ago,
Mm-hmm.
everything was done wrong. Okay, because there were hundreds of people on the street. There were 3 or 4 girls attacking this one woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 5 to 20 people on each person. Nope, this isn't happening anymore. This is not acceptable here. And if enough times that this happened, time and time and time again, either A, that gang is going to step up the intensity of their actions, or B, they're
Right.
going to go, I just can't do anything here the way, the malicious way that I want to. So
Did did
Hmm.
did
set,
anybody stop attacking that woman at all? Did anybody come in and stop it?
no, no, I was one of the people that actually peeled her up from the pavement. And
Oh,
also, I think I was about the only person that called the cops. And they finally came around. I don't, and it was in a mall area or outdoor, but in a mall area, and there should be plenty of
Mm.
security. I kind of doubt they ever went and talked to the mall and said, "Can we see your tapes? We'd like to help this woman." And it's just it happens too much. There's too many people. There's too many reports. There's not enough time. Not enough tax money. All
Right.
this stuff. And are these miscreants ever going to be identified in the video? And part of it too is it was the 3 or 4 young women, and then there was about 2 other guys that were flying air support that were part of this
Mm.
gang thing, and they were
Right.
keeping people like myself off of the girls who were attacking the older
Oh,
woman.
yeah.
Um,
So after you picked her up, did she have any kind of bruises or broken bones at all?
I think she had scrapes and bruises, sort of thing, but more than that, the best I could tell is that I really think that her pride was hurt more than anything because, I mean, how would you feel being treated like a piece of garbage in the presence of hundreds of people who were essentially watching? Yes, that was in Seattle. That's correct. In the presence of hundreds of people who could help,
Mm.
um, didn't. And from what I observed too, it was really sickening because I'm sitting there going, "Hey, everybody, if we all jump in, this thing's done, right?"
Right.
And at that point, nobody has to throw any punches. There's a few of us that are going to have to, make some contact, but that's it, right?
Right.
But what I also saw was it was kind of like the schoolyard fight, right? Where you've got the circle of people going, "Do it, do it, do it," because it's entertaining or something like that. And there were people there that were, "Ooh, this is exciting." And there were people there that were, "Oh, there's an interruption." And then there were people there that were like ignoring it completely. I mean, it was just a herd of sheep, and it was sickening. And it still, frankly, bothers me. Being a writer, one of the things that I did is I ended up writing about this, and I keep all of my writings, and this thing's like 3 or 5 pages long.
Wow.
Saying, yeah, and a part of it is under, at least the presumption of where this woman seemed to be, and most of it, I mean, she was crying and seemed to be somewhat disconcerted, and I can only imagine how it would feel to be in front of so many people that could help and just don't when you're being treated like a piece of garbage.
Right.
And I don't know.
Eric, explain to them what happened with Claire. She had to deal with girls too.
Who, Claire?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta tell you guys this. So this is on Periscope, right? So
Okay.
she was performing in Santa Monica on the Third Street Promenade, right? And the Santa Monica Pier.
Exactly.
But so on the promenade, she was playing her song. She was playing her song. Then this guy took her money out of her tip jar and
Mm.
ran off with like $5, $5 or $10, and ran. And a few and three people, well, actually 3 guys, ran after him and tried to get him knocked down and stuff. But he was already across the street at the mall, because there's another mall on the other side of the street. So 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 what happened was she was like freaking out, and she was like, that guy stole my money. Go get him, like, when these guys ran after him. These guys ran after him and stuff. He was already across the street, and it was too late.
This was live on air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
was
live on
live on
Periscope.
air,
It was
live on
live.
Periscope. It
It was
actually
live.
happened. It actually happened.
It was it
Damn.
was live. It
Yep.
was live, and the guy wasn't on camera. The guy was behind the phone and stuff. He was behind the
Yep.
phone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She got her money stolen, Jason, and
Yep.
it was really bad.
See, the worst online trolling I ever had was probably my very first anxiety attack because I had never had anxiety attacks before, and
Mm.
things like crowded malls. always
Right.
excite me and fill me with energy. And
Wait, I didn't know
I
you had an
had
anxiety
my
attack. I didn't even know that.
I've had a few over the past couple of years when we were dragged through the
Okay.
mud back in BC, and Martin and I lost
Um,
all our money
um,
and got slandered and everything. It kind of created a very different brain in me and Martin too. And we're
Okay.
struggling right now to kind of get back to a lot of who we were before, so we can stay in the industry because it's not an easy industry.
Well,
But yeah, my
I
very first anxiety attack, I was in a crowded mall and I was alone, and I ran for underneath the stairs in the back near the theater
mhm,
because it was too early. The theater hadn't opened yet,
right.
and I tucked myself under the stairs and just tried to calm myself
Mhm,
and didn't know what was going on, didn't know how I felt. And so I got on Periscope. I jumped on Periscope and thought, I'm just going to get people, anyone who's around, just talk to me, give me a screen to focus on, give me somewhere to focus on. So that's what I did. And about 10%, I mean, I had some really nice people on there, and they were saying, okay, focus on this, think about this, look at the wall, count. There
mhm,
were people with experience that they were able to help me and they were able to talk me through it. The ones
right.
that really got me were the ones that were telling me that I have to commit suicide, I'm not worth it, I'm a draw on society, and
Whoa.
they were constantly battling with the ones that were trying to help me. And it's a very extreme troll case, and it was very very difficult. I wound up dialing 911 to get an ambulance to come. I didn't
Okay.
want to do that. I just wanted to find people who had the same experiences so that I could
Right.
not feel alone. And to me,
Right.
that's what things like Periscope are for.
Mhm,
I don't always see it as me discussing or giving energy or teaching or whatever. A lot of times these are people who I can reach out to when people who are right here aren't available.
right.
And I never thought I'd be reading comments saying commit suicide, jump off a bridge, every bad word in the book. And I'm just like, who are you people and why are you here? And that's probably the worst case of trolling I've ever had online because
Oh
that one
man.
day was just overwhelming. I couldn't
D-
get back on air for about 2 weeks.
does your anxiety attack come like often or
Well, I went into a perimenopausal state about 8 to 10 years ago. And
mhm,
most women go through perimenopause over about 2 years tops. Some of them will only have a couple months. It depends on the woman's body. For some
mhm,
reason, my body decided to keep a hold of my perimenopausal state. Because of that, it pumped extra female hormones into my body.
mhm,
So I was equivalent to 5 to 7 months pregnant when it came to the hormones in my body. I wasn't
mhm,
pregnant, but my body was trying to be pregnant in order to convince it that it had not run out of its eggs.
right.
So that's when the anxiety started. So that combined with being taken down in court, screwed over, losing $239,000, slandered every day. I went from being able to handle it to hormonally being overrun and never being able to handle it. And that's when the full anxiety started hitting.
Wow.
I do still get it. I had my surgery in February of this year. Well, sorry, of 2020. I finally got the doctors here in Ontario, and this is part of the reason we moved back, because the doctors in BC were just like, "Oh, don't worry, it'll go away." It wasn't
Mhm,
going away.
right.
I couldn't handle a gig. I couldn't handle the immense pressure of the schedules in this industry. I couldn't, for the first time in my life, I could not do what I'm designed to do. And we found out after we came back to Ontario that I had a fake growth in my body,
Mhm,
pretending to be a baby. So
wow.
my
Dang.
body decided to grow these little sacs where my eggs used to be, saying
Uh-huh.
you still have eggs when I didn't. And it kept growing this fake baby out of tissue and it kept rejecting it. So basically I was having on a pseudo regular basis, like a few months apart, I was having equivalent to a miscarriage
Oof.
when I had
Wow.
my period. So hormonally and physically, it did a lot of damage to my nervous system, to my heart, to my. When people say describe perimenopausal state, for me, the easiest way I can describe it is my body ran out of eggs and decided to kill me.
Jeez.
So I'm one in 10,000 reported cases. reported cases. So I can only imagine how many women go through this alone without the medical help. So
So
they sterilized me in February. They went in with a laser and they cut it all away and are forcing me into menopause.
so when the anxiety attack occurs, what do you have to do?
Hmm.
Um, I have lorazepam. It's only 1 milligrams, and it's only to be used as needed.
Mm.
And I'm supposed to stop eating as much salt as I've been eating. I've been a very bad girl.
Uh-oh.
All the
Oops.
good food has salt in it.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
we saw
Yikes.
those clips you had in your earlier video there.
I'm
Yikes.
oh, yeah, bad, bad 50 something, bad 50 something, bad, bad.
I, I, I did the
I
scratch.
am,
I did the
I am a,
scratch and sniff screen before. Okay,
mhm.
here's the
Go ahead,
hugs.
Don. Oh.
I'm a softie for microwave popcorn.
Huggy,
I'm,
huggy, Christina, huggy,
I have
huggy.
a massive weakness for microwave popcorn. And I mean massive weakness. I mean overwhelmingly stupid massive weakness for microwave popcorn. But yeah, I'm supposed to cut out sugars. I'm supposed to cut out salts, replace salt with rosemary, because apparently rosemary has a similar electrolyte effect on the body, but
Uh-huh.
doesn't dehydrate the body like
Mm.
salt does. So yeah, there's a whole list of things I'm not supposed to eat, and I get into these emotional states where that's all I do is eat it. And
So I
yeah,
guess you have to avoid salt then.
I'm supposed to. I have not been doing so. I'm
Oh boy.
well,
Oh
the budget
boy.
got really tight. The budget got really, really tight with this whole
Uh,
COVID thing.
right. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, our part of our industry is completely shut down. Like we're lucky in the last year we've gotten 2 props, and
So
that's it.
Toronto's still in lockdown as well?
We've gone into a third lockdown, or 2.5, as some people are calling it. They put us
Mm.
into another lockdown the day after Christmas,
Right.
and people weren't paying attention, or is a polite way to put it. So
Right.
it was supposed to go 28 days,
Mm.
but they announced yesterday that they were extending the lockdown for another 28 days, and they were putting stricter warnings in effect. We have this little thing here. It's like a siren, and it's the most annoying thing on the planet, and you're not allowed to turn it off. And it
Mm.
comes whether you want it or not, and it interrupts everything. If you've got a radio on, your phone, whatever, and it just and
Oh.
it's usually
Oh.
used for kidnapping of a kid, or
Yeah,
a nuclear
Jeez.
meltdown if it happens. Well, they used it yesterday morning to remind us all that it's a 10,000 no, yeah, it's a $1,500 fee fine per person if you break any of the new regulations, and it is a $10,000 fine if you're caught with a social gathering.
yeah. Tell us the kinky
Wow.
story of husband and wife with the leash
Oh yeah.
again.
Oh my God,
Ooh.
you guys, you
Oh.
want hilarious? Okay,
Let's hear it.
Montreal, okay, because
Let's hear
it's
it.
only the concentrated cities,
Uh-huh.
okay? It's only the concentrated cities this is happening to.
Right.
Montreal is another concentrated city
Mhm.
in southern Canada, and they have a curfew. Toronto isn't getting a curfew, which I'm grateful for. I'm hoping we don't. They have a curfew in Montreal. It's
Mhm.
8 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, if you're out after 8 p.m., you're either a dog walker, in other words, your dog
Mhm.
really had to go, or you're essential services and you're going to your job. Okay,
Dang.
this woman wanted to go for a walk,
Uh-huh.
so she put a leash on her husband, collar and a leash, and took him out for a walk with him on all fours.
Oh no.
So the cops
Jeez.
see this, and the cops are like, "No, you're not essential services, and that's not a dog."
He should have gone around to like a fire plug and like, look, I'm proven.
So they
I
charged them fifteen
identify as
hundred
a dog.
each.
Don't judge me. He's
Wow.
a
That
dog.
is crazy.
I'm
So
like,
she,
honey, keep that in the bedroom, right? It's like,
so this his wife made his husband a dog.
her husband a dog, yeah.
Oh
And he was
man,
all for it. They wanted to go for a walk.
Here's
Yeah.
what she should have done.
Hey,
Here's what she should have.
embarrassing.
Here's what
hey,
she should have done. She should have taken the leash and gone out, right, and gone for her walk. And when the cop
Right.
comes up, she goes, "My dog just ran off."
or you go this way, Vince.
Oh
Vince,
jeez.
when
Yeah.
when the police come to her, she'll be like, "Oh my God, my dog's missing. Can you find my husband? No!" And then I'm like,
Yeah, my dog is
Wow,
named
that is
Hudson for short.
insane. That is
Well, and she's trying to
insane.
fight it. She's trying to fight it. I'm like, oh, honey. And of course, the funny thing, and I don't know who's Canadian right now in here. The
Me,
funniest thing about it is the fact that you're honorary, my dear. You've got some learning still. Um,
me.
the funniest thing about it is she's a francophone, so that means she's a French Canadian. She's
Ah,
she is the francophone is the Mosi, and she it's like leave it to the French.
that is funny.
Leave it to the
A
French,
husband became a dog. That
just
is
so they can go out for
funny.
an evening walk. It's like,
Years and years ago, I worked at an IHOP as a dish dog, the busboy.
Ah,
And once, I think it was a Sunday morning, I'm walking through the smoking section carrying this big, tub of dirty dishes, and I
right.
realized here's this senior citizen couple sitting there in the smoking section, and like the guy is holding a leash, and it's going across the table to the gal, and they're like eating
Ah,
breakfast, holding the leash. I'm like walking by, going, "What the hell is this?" And I went to my boss actually. I said, so this is out in the dining area, and whatever their thing is their thing, and that's their business. But
right.
not in this place, but it's in this place of business. And I don't know if you should do like a safety check or whatever. But it doesn't seem appropriate for this place of business. We could even chime in and say Sunday morning when there's a lot of people here following church or whatever. But it was just kind of like, if it's not Halloween, why would you do that, so to speak, in a restaurant? It was just, I don't know. It was odd. It was odd.
Wow.
They ended up putting the leash away, but here's grandma still wearing her collar. It was like, okay,
Um,
go
I'm
you.
looking back on comments just for a moment, Jason. Yes, BC's hospital system is not that good, and it is the only province in Canada where you pay an additional fee. So the government takes money out of our taxes for our basic medical, and BC is the only province that you have to pay monthly on top of what they take out of our taxes on a federal level. And I've never heard of anything like this. Travis, yes, 1 in 10,000 women have it, but it's very rarely reported. I can't remember exactly what the words are. Memory is one of the things that I've been trying to rehearse, returning back to. She
Right.
could sue the hospital doctors for medical malpractice. It wasn't caught and treated early. No, Jason, I cannot. I kind of wish. Um, it's Canada. We're we're a
And
very different. Yeah. We may be your lovely northern cousins,
Oh,
but
my native land. No.
when it comes to our medical system, it's more
Patriot
British than
love.
American. Um, but and it's not a matter of malpractice. It's a matter of they basically looked at me and said you're perimenopausal. It'll go away eventually, and that's just I accepted it. I didn't pursue it. I didn't pay the extra money to pursue it. Not as much as covered in BC as in Ontario. Ontario is the center of the country. Toronto is basically the financial center of the country, and Ottawa is our capital. So
Ah,
Ontario has a much larger
To the
population.
top
For example,
of the
if you take the
Canadian big
population,
apple in the sky, moving on up,
if you take the population of British Columbia, the whole province,
moving on up.
it will, and you times it by 3, you've got the population of Toronto, the city.
okay.
Okay,
Oh, jeez.
so it's a very Ontario. I all the years I lived in British Columbia, I felt like I was living in another country.
Oh,
There were
man.
times I had to be reminded that I was in Canada, And Don reminded us of that a lot. Don, I
Oh
miss you.
That's like that's like a what is it? Kids in the Hall sketch waiting to happen. Is like the
Mhm.
Canadian tilt on the what was the name of that show?
The
Jeffersons.
kids in the hall, or
Jeffersons. No, if Kids in the Hall spoofed the
uh,
Jeffersons but did it with a Canadian character, that would be hilarious.
Oh man.
oh, that's tempting.
Moving on up, and you know.
Yeah, the British
That is
guy
so
was on too
tempting.
short.
Oh my god, that's
My
funny.
pin, my pin.
So Eric, did it
What
did,
you're
did
saying
he
is you
eventually caught
don't
that
want
person?
talking in your mailbox.
Wait, what, Vince?
Did it did, did, did they eventually caught that person, Eric, or it got away?
No. Wait, this is what they did. So this is what they did. So there was a woman that was a witness. A woman, it was an older woman that was a witness. So
Mm-hmm.
she had her phone in her hand. She had her phone in her hand. So she actually called Santa Monica police. So she actually called them,
Mm-hmm.
with her phone number and stuff.
Right.
Put in uh put in a search warrant, not a search warrant, a um a report on
Right.
the person, and yeah, the person wasn't found. The person that ran off was nowhere to be found.
Oh man. BJ, I know you had a deal with trolls. So go ahead and explain.
Yeah, this happened a couple of years ago, everybody, and I recently got back from a surgery, and that even Vince and Eric know about the surgery I had, and I don't want to talk about
Yep.
it, but it was bad. I came back on Periscope just to let everyone know I'm okay, and then all of a sudden this guy came on and said, "Hey man, how you doing?" I said, "I'm okay," and then he wanted me to message him privately. And I
Hmm.
said, "Why? Why you want me to message you privately? I just got back on it." He wanted me to strip down and have a little tender with him.
Sorry.
Oh, ouch.
So I said, "What the heck?" I had to report the guy. It was on Periscope and on Facebook.
Jason, thanks for the subscribe.
So they banned the guy. They banned his account,
Good.
but the guy kept on coming with new accounts on
Yep.
Periscope. So he kept on harassing me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not gonna curse, but I mean, I got so
No.
tired of.
Don't
I
worry about
blew
it.
up the screen. I got so mad.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Vince and Eric came on, they thought I was yelling at them. But I said, no, I'm yelling at this guy here. And then I said, I'll take a screenshot and show them. And when they saw it, not only Vince was so pissed off, not only Eric was shocked, all my friends that came on wondered what was going on. So I had to show them what this person was saying, that he wanted to have one on man. Now, man not supposed to be with man, supposed to be man and woman. He wanted to have a man and man one in a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I'm gonna say this one, not acceptable on my side of the family. Regardless if you're color, white, doesn't matter. But when a guy tries to threaten you, push himself to get to you or find your way to get to the place and try and have, what do they say, rape you, it's unsuccessful in my side. So I had to call the police. So the police, they did a report. I did everything I can. They couldn't find the person because the person was somewhere else in the world, but able to ban his accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And still from this day, I'm glad that that person doesn't have no Periscope no more, no Facebook no more. And I
I'm
just have
happy
to
they
be
were taken care
careful.
of.
because you never know. People could come out with fake accounts and try to lure
Yeah,
you in.
it's
Like
true.
one of our friends that we all three know, she got her phone stolen, and we all know her. Boop. Remember that happened?
Hmm.
She was scoping in the morning, and because she's a very nice woman, out of nowhere, a guy came out and took her phone and ran off.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I remember that.
But the guy did not notice that the periscope was still running, and everybody took a
Yeah,
screenshot.
yeah. Her broadcast was still running. I was like, wait a minute.
Mhm. But they
Bold.
didn't catch the guy, and of course, not only she was distracted, she was embarrassed.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think we haven't seen her
Right?
since that happened. So I don't know.
That was it was hurtful on her. But getting back to my side, not only trolls try to push you in, lure you into a room on another
Hmm.
chat, they
Right,
try to not only take your information, they also try to get you to come over their home. You should never have it. And especially these children that's on Periscope. They should not allow kids on here, regardless of anything, no matter
true.
what.
Exactly.
It should just be adult.
Oh,
Oh, that was nice.
Hey, what kind of broadcast is this?
Trolls Anonymous. Welcome to the Trolls Anonymous meeting, Don.
Martin's apologizing, Don, that he doesn't have one for you.
Sorry about that.
Hey, hey,
I'll just have to make you.
Vince,
Yes,
Vince. You
yes.
know what this is? This is like what is it? 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 Like we're in a troll asylum, and that the person is like coming at us, and it's
Right.
like, but like for real, I'm like, you know, people on Periscope. Then like I'm gonna put a comparison here. So
Right.
on Periscope, there's kids, right?
Yep.
Instagram, there's kids.
Yep.
Twitter, there's kids. Well,
Yep.
kids that are on social media and
Thanks for
stuff.
the high five.
And also, Facebook has kids. But what happens is the kids really don't understand how or what a troll is or how a person acts and stuff because they're
Right.
young and stuff
Right.
and and I'm like I'm like if the troll is bothering a kid, like either it's a little girl or a boy or something like that that's on either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, whatever. If you text something or put something in the chat and stuff, like leave, leave.
Exactly.
You have to live stream. Don't be friends with
Hmm.
that person because the parents
Exactly.
will be really pissed off, and they will probably report that person to Facebook or Instagram or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. So the parent will report that person. But there are some parents that they're like the parents are like don't care about that, about their kids' safety and stuff, and the parents will have to be like the parents need to have kids' safety and stuff. So the parent has to bring up a topic to bring to their kid and stuff, and be like this app is really bad, but you can't be following people that are older than you, like people
Well,
that are 50,
Right.
60, 70 years old, and
well, I want to especially want
Okay.
to share this with you too because you guys have brought to mind a story as well that I'd like to share here for a number of reasons. There
Right.
was a young gentleman who was 14 years old on Periscope and autistic.
Hmm.
they're like me.
Don't know to what. Yeah, but I think it was a little more aggressive autistic because if you said or did something that he didn't like, he would actually threaten your life. And he started getting on our periscopes, and he was on for a while. And we talked him through some projects and answered his questions and everything.
Uh-huh.
And it was really good. We were really patient with him. And then out
Right.
of the blue, when he said that he wanted to send us money, but he wanted
Mm-hmm.
our bank info. And
Uh-huh.
this is when my brain went,
What?
no.
Say what?
So I said to him, listen, you've already discussed that you're autistic. We've been patient and everything. You're on the other side, literally, of the keyboard.
Uh-huh.
I'm not 100% sure if this is real or not. I am not giving you my bank info. And he called us, both Martin and I, names. He threatened to find our home and kill us. And then he gave us a link to his Facebook. So we went to his Facebook because it was a
Mm-hmm.
public profile,
Right.
and he looked older than he said he was. He looked about 18 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I know again with certain physical traits to certain people, the genetics will make you look older or younger. So
Right.
you know we went okay, well, maybe he is 14, and I didn't see any of the pictures there. Um, None of them had a parent, but there were a lot of sports, kind of sports heroes type. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought maybe he's with Variety or he's with an organization or something like that. And then my brain started going, why is a parent not with this 14-year-old who has a level that he can't function on that level? You know, there should be a parent with him, not only because of his, you know. So then he started getting on Doug and Alley in the morning.
Oh.
And he started saying to Doug and Allie that they should help him track Martin and I down because we're friends with Doug and Allie so that he can kill us for insulting him. And Doug and Allie are like, whoa, 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 where's your
And I know Doug
parents?
and I know
Where's,
Doug and
you
Ali
know,
didn't want to get involved in that part, in that situation.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so we wound up blocking him, and then he kept coming back with variations on his name. He didn't even hide it.
Yeah.
He just kept getting profile after profile and profile. And he wound up hassling about 10 or 20 of us on Periscope, and every single time it's like he kept repeating over and over again, I'm 14, I'm autistic, you've got to give me credit. And it's like, we'll give you credit for staying in here and learning and talking to us. We're not going to give
Right.
you credit that if we upset you once, you threatened to kill us. It just, no. No, like my whole audience turned against them. My whole audience, I mean, they sat there for so long going, we get that you're autistic, we get that you're young, we're all going to be patient. And everyone was so patient. And then
Are
the
you
moment he
Jason?
started threatening our life, it was like, no, you need to
Yeah,
talk
that's
to
not
mom and
excusable
dad,
behavior.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, they need to report his account to me. Yeah, we did, but he kept making different accounts, and that was the hard thing.
Christina, did you find out if this person was really autistic or was he like he was playing mind games and stuff?
If he was playing mind games, he was very thorough because his Twitter account, his Periscope account, his Facebook account, they all match the same profile pictures, the same speech patterns, the same photographs with the same athletes.
But
So if
did you think if was he really autistic, or was he playing around?
I don't know. To this day, we don't know.
Yeah.
Per-
Well. This is what I would if a person like that came on my live stream, I'll be like on my live stream either on here or on Periscope. I'll be like, look, I'm autistic, but I'm not I'm not suicidal. I'm not you know
you're
that
not out
kind
for
of
blood.
person because I don't
Right.
I don't I don't give out my info. I don't give out my personal address. I don't give out my phone number to
Hey,
anyone.
Melissa.
Hey Melissa, um, but yeah, I don't give out any personal info if anyone is saying who they think they are, because there's a lot of people on Periscope pretending to be someone that's autistic, and I'll be like when they first come in, I'll be like, are you autistic or are you pulling my leg? Because you know,
Well,
because
and someone suggested at that time that maybe he wasn't autistic. He had some other disorder, but he was using autistic because it's a more common thing.
Mhm.
Someone had suggested that to us as well, that maybe he was a different kind um, of struggle that does snap to violence. But we never found out. We kept blocking every profile, and every once in a while, about that was about 5 years, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, because we were building the first set of lightsabers on air, and he wanted a lightsaber too, and he got angry at us when we said, no, we're not just going to hand you a lightsaber. Oh, I'm a dedicated fan. I get it, but we're not going to hand you a lightsaber. But yeah, that was a number of years ago, and he got a hold of us about 2 years ago, shortly after we moved to Toronto, with a
Hmm.
slight. They're all slight variations, but same photos, same kind of wording, and he wanted us to forgive him because his parents told him that he had to be forgiven in order to feel good about himself. And I'm
Hmm.
like, dude, you threatened my life. You threatened Doug and Allie's life. You threatened Jay Bird's life. You threatened. No, no, no,
Wait,
no, no,
wait,
no,
wait, wait, wait,
no.
wait, wait a
Yeah,
minute. I know
you're not
Jaybird.
online to pay for
I,
someone else's
I,
problem.
hey, Christina, I know
Hmm.
Jaybird. I know Jaybird
Oh,
on
good, cool.
Facebook. I'm friends with him because he has a son that's autistic.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He does. And again, he came across to Jay as just fine, but when he started talking to Jay about how we should die, Jay's like, whoa, no, that's not the kind of thing here. And he went from that great personality to, hold on, now we're serious. And
Has
then then this guy
has
said
anybody
to
caught
Jay
that?
that,
Uh, but
it said to Jay that he's next if he doesn't help him. And it's just like, Jay looked at, I'm typing away frantically because this is before they allowed the audio conversations on Periscope. And
mhm,
I'm typing away frantically, going, Jay, he can't see me. I've blocked him, but I'm looking at your responses in your face. So I'm watching on my hidden profile. Back then, I had hidden profiles for everything. And I'd
mhm,
use those to see people I blocked. And I said, I'm
right.
seeing and I'm screen capturing. Jay, honey, let this guy go now. Trust me. And Jay did. He just hit the block. And then later on, we got on the phone with each other. And I looked at him and I'm like, let me tell you about this guy. He's a piece of cake. And yeah, so Jay kept him blocked. But yeah, he went after Jay Bird. He
Has
just,
anybody caught that person at all? Has anyone
sorry?
caught him? Has
I
anyone
don't
caught that
know.
person?
I have no idea. I mean, I put reports into Periscope. They seem to be ignored. I got a hold of Facebook, but Facebook said because nothing like that has happened on Facebook, there's nothing they can do about it. Um, Twitter put a block on his account for 3 months, but then they
Three
let him have it
months.
back. Yeah, and then they let him have it back.
They should have blocked him permanently.
I know. I
That doesn't
know.
make
I
sense.
don't.
3 months?
3 months. I think
Jeez.
what had probably happened is his mom, if she even exists, probably appealed that, on behalf of her son. Her son's got these problems, and they probably did an appeal process at some point. Because Twitter was like that, Facebook was like that a lot too. I would be blocked for a month at a time on Facebook after we got rid of
Yeah,
that third producer, and the court case happened, and everything went to hell. He'd take pictures and claim that any child in the photo was his, and Facebook would block me. We lost three very large promo pages, and it did a lot of damage on the income for the festival. It just, you can manipulate social media so easily.
yeah.
Mhm. So,
That when I came on and you're asking about the troll, and I mentioned that I've dealt with stalkers before. Two of them because I'm a musician, and I hear from other musicians and performers saying that they've dealt with these stalkers too. The first one I actually had to get paper on and take to court, and it's the thing with it too though is because the first one was a former friend, and essentially we got back in touch. But then I found that he had he had developed an agoraphobic issue, and his way of reaching out was calling someone that put their phone number in a yearbook from years before. In my case, junior high, and
mhm.
he would call pretty much just one person. And I figured out at one point, on average, he'd call me 13 times a day, even when I'm saying, hey, look, I got other things I got to do, man. And eventually, with between cutting him off and then also getting paper. And I tell you, it's hard to get someone served who won't answer their door after they've ordered a pizza. Okay. So they won't answer their door. And in his case, he wouldn't answer the door when he wasn't expecting someone. And in some cases, he wouldn't answer the door for like the postman or something, someone he was expecting, someone he was essentially okay with. Um, and like I said, got paper on him, finally got him served by way of the police. And then actually it's three other stalkers I've essentially had. And it's funny because the next two stalkers were online music stalkers. And the trick with them is like one of the gals who is the worst of the two. It's like, oh, I saw you at this event. I was going to come and talk to you, but I decided not to. So it was this power play that she was doing with me, and she was contacting me, and I really had no idea who she was, where she was, and if I wanted to, get paper on her for a restraining order, or no contact, there's nothing I could do. And just the same as Anchor was talking about as well, is all someone has to do is establish a different email address, and hey, Google, they're free. Yahoo, they're free. That's all it takes. There was a product review panel that I went to years ago, and it was a technology thing. And at the end of it, they turned around and asked the group of us, they said, are there any other upcoming inventions that, anything you can imagine that you'd like to see? And what they were doing was they were probing us for free ideas, which is fine. And one of the things that I said was, I'm a musician, I've had these stalkers, and I can block someone on account number one, but when they establish account number two, there's nothing I can do, or with account 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. And, about the only way that I know that anything could be done to block people in that case too, is if somehow we had a single one unique identifier for each person that goes online, but hello hackers, or whatever it is. I mean, there's just nothing you can do. And nowadays, when I run into someone that is doing stalking type behavior, and like I realized I actually had a fourth one there, even if they don't realize that they're doing stalking type behavior, or what I understand or have come to be familiar with as stalking type behavior, as soon as somebody does that, the hairs on the back of my neck go up, and it is this crazy freaked out defensive feeling. And on one hand, I mean, the very first thing I do is try and politely disconnect. Hey, that's cool. I'm sorry, I'm really busy. Got to go. Or whatever it is. And it's just is because of that first stalker that I had. Anybody else that does that sort of behavior, I mean, it's just instant. It yikes, and there's
So,
there.
Don, let me ask you a question. How many stalkers you had to deal with? How many stalkers you had to deal with? Four?
Four. Yeah, one of them that was a former friend, two because I'm a musician, and then the third one was a person that I had recently befriended, a woman that I'd recently befriended, and I think she had other issues going on. And she got into some stalkery type behavior within our friendship, and it was when I was already starting to look at it and go, maybe this is a friend that I don't want to have quite as much, and her what I identify as stalker type behavior kicked in, and that was when it was really clear to me that, hey, I got to cut this off. And she ended up on about 2 occasions years after, still reached out to me through other people, and again, nothing I could do.
Yep. I've had a lot of similar situations, including our previous co-producer.
Wow.
I mean, he just didn't leave us
Good
alone.
grief.
Anything he could destroy, he did.
Awesome.
We couldn't even go to, like, we'd get hired as characters for events, and we'd show up at the event, and he'd show up, and because they're public events, and he would body check me, and then he would go running to security and tell security that I attacked him, and we would get fired, left, right, and center, and it was, and it's part of again, another reason why we finally said, no, we're going home. BC is a beautiful, beautiful province, gorgeous, but a majority of the population there is very passive aggressive, and no one wants to be part of anything. I mean, they're just so scared all the time.
Hmm.
And it's such a different attitude from from Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just I mean I lived in California a little bit in '99, and
I'm sorry.
it it was very it was very I found the atmosphere very American in the sense that you got the job done. You didn't hit the beach until you got your day done,
Right.
and yeah,
Unless
so
you're
it was American enough for me to feel at home because Toronto's been nicknamed the Northern New York. And
Mm-hmm.
I go over the border on a regular basis since I was a little kid. So, yeah, it was comfortable to be in California. It was this great little, you can sit on the beach all night after you're done your day. And
Yep.
I figured Vancouver would be the same. And it wasn't, they would get into the most ridiculous arguments with you. Oh, you're from Toronto. Oh, we hate you instantly. Oh, hi, pleasure to meet you. And
Wow.
my friends are like, don't tell them you're from Toronto. And I'm like, listen, if I'm gonna hide who I am and where I'm from, I don't need them in my life. You know, a lot of the actors we worked with would quit. Like they'd do the show, they put it on their resume, they'd be a continuing character that should hang on. No, they quit. They do 1 year, they put it on their resume, and they're gone. Their costume custom made for them and thousands of dollars on their outfits and training and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd find a way out of their contract because
Right.
I'm too aggressive. It's like,
Hmm.
I'm putting $60,000 a year into my festival. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little serious about this, sure, And the attitude is so different. Whereas here in Toronto, you say I'm putting $60,000 a year into this project. You want a really good resume builder and you want an establishable character that we can rent out during the year between the festival dates. I'll pay
Mm-hmm.
for your costume. It's just you're going to sign up for a few years. They're not going to say anything. They're going to do the job or they're going to leave.
Right.
It's such a different world between the two provinces. So it's really easy, in BC to create that stalker, that troll, that it's really easy with the type of disposition. They call themselves laid back, and I'm like, why are you guys freaking out at me then? This is the job. You do it or not.
Right.
It's so different, but it creates a world where it's really easy to intimidate each other. It's really easy to come in and take over. It's no one wants to get involved. Everyone's in these little bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
and I come back to Toronto and it's when this COVID is over with, I really believe I'm going to get things done now. When
So
this whole thing is
what
over.
is the toughest place to live in Canada? What is the toughest place?
Toughest place in Canada? Toughest in what
Yeah.
way?
Like bad neighborhoods or something?
Well, it really depends. Like, I mean, Toronto has some crappy neighborhoods, but if you grew up in Toronto and you've lived here at least for a good chunk of time, um, you develop that New York type attitude. Whereas you just that little space is that little space, and you wear a pouch instead of a purse, and you keep the important stuff in your back pocket instead of your satchel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I wouldn't say it's the toughest because statistically, when it comes to crime, per person, per person, if we just look at Ontario, the smaller towns have more crime per person. But that's because it's hard to get away with something in a big condensed city with lots of people, where
Right.
someone can catch you doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a lot of neighborhoods here where you've got a mansion here and a no income housing over here, and they're across the street from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And rich people build in those areas because no one's going to steal from next door. They're going to get on transit. They're going to go to a completely different neighborhood altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you want to live next door to the crime because it actually keeps you safer.
Right.
And it's a very different disposition. Whereas Vancouver, you go into downtown Vancouver, and Vancouver's got about 6 blocks right next to Chinatown, like a square little area right next to their Chinatown,
Mm-hmm.
that is all drug dealings. Every store has got like bars on the windows, and it's you go from fine housing to this. There's that drastic, sharp change. So
Right.
they have a distinct neighborhood. So if you don't want certain things to happen, you don't go into that neighborhood.
Correct.
But that neighborhood is part of the downtown core, which is actually physically very tiny. So it's a higher crime rate in the core of Vancouver, but the
Mm-hmm.
population is tiny in comparison to the population of Toronto. So it
Uh,
really depends on how your brain works. If you're used to a lot of people, come to Toronto, you'll be happier. If you're used to that American get it done attitude, come to Toronto, you'll be happier. You're used to just this is your home, you don't go out much, you've got specific things in your life, you like your little neighborhood, you're happy with your little neighborhood, you know where to live, where not to live, go to Vancouver. It's two
mm,
completely different attitudes.
wow. I,
Yeah.
for me, I wouldn't mind visiting Canada. I would love to visit either Toronto or Vancouver. I wouldn't mind visiting one of those cities.
Well, Toronto's got a lot of history. If you're visiting, Toronto's got a lot of history. There are buildings here that go back to the 16, 1700s. Um, there's a lot of
I've
big
been to
brick
Canada
buildings, a lot
two
of
times.
a lot of you can feel the history in this city. Same with Montreal. Montreal's a lot smaller, but it's the same kind of old world. You
Mm-hmm.
can see the French influence. You can see all that. Um, whereas Vancouver is a much younger city. It was originally a lumber town. So they were cutting out trees and then they were running them through the town to get onto the boats,
Right.
from the mountains down.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into skiing, if you're into whale watching, if you're into a lot of organic nature stuff, but a newer
Mm-hmm.
city, then Vancouver's the place to go to visit. Because there's no
That's
mountains
cool.
by Toronto.
Wow.
We're a lot of hills, but no, we call them mountains.
Right.
Torontonians will tell you that's a mountain, and then they go to BC and go, "Oh no, that's not a mountain. That's a hill." Damn, it's like
Yeah,
I,
it's like here where people will arrive and you're like, so can you drive stick? Meaning can you drive stick on a hill? They're like, oh yeah, sure. I'm like, welcome to Seattle.
yeah,
Because we have some of our hills are the same pitch as they are in San Francisco. They're just not as tall, but they're still tall.
Yeah.
But they're the same pitch. And yeah, I can drive stick in downtown Seattle, going from the water to up to Broadway, up to Capitol Hill. But you get people that are like, oh sure, I'm from Arizona, I can drive stick.
that
Mm-hmm.
reminds me, Don. I might want you to go cigar shopping for me because I can't find anything like the stuff I
Sure.
found at the little cigar shop in Capitol Hill.
Jason,
I
thanks for
know,
the
but
safe stable word.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful driving down to Seattle all the time. It's only about two and a half hour drive, the way I drive, and the mountains are just gorgeous. You're driving through all these mountains, and then you
Mm-hmm.
get down to you get closer to Seattle, and like Don says, it gets lower and lower, and you get into Seattle, and it's like this little old world town. You can almost see this whole kind of Victorian era industrial feel to it, and it just
Mm-hmm.
we went to Seattle as often as we could, which is why I'm sure back then Don wanted to get rid of us, and now we miss each other. Um,
Well, no, I'm actually still bumming about the time, which I think was just about a year or so before your move,
Mm-hmm.
when I was living at the south end. No, it would have been more than a year, but I was living at the south end of Woodby, and you guys came down with some other cosplayers to do photos at Fort Casey, and
yes.
something schedule wise where it just didn't work out. It's so close, but still too far away, where it just didn't work out to get together. And
It would have
That
been
was
nice if you guys would have gotten together to take a picture of it, right?
well. That was
well,
that was the Lord of the Rings photo shoot.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I
That
don't
was
remember if there was
the
a big pipery request
well.
with that too, or quite what.
Somewhere out there is a photo of me and my elf character trying to lift his kilt with my bow. Somewhere out there. I
I finally
remember.
got to see pictures, like within the past year, because this one lady, I don't know how she figured it out, but she contacted me via the email address for my baking company
Mm-hmm.
about pipe stuff, And she's like, "Oh yeah, are you the one that was in these photos at the Seattle conference or convention
Emerald
center?
City
Excuse
Comic
me."
Con.
Right.
Right.
And and I'm like, "Yeah, but why are you contacting me at my cookie address basically as opposed to my bagpiper address?" And I don't know how that connection got made, but yeah, it took a couple of years, but I finally got to see like two of those photos, but still not the one where you got permission to, go for a kilt lifter, Christina.
Damn.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I gotta, I
Martin was
gotta
on the
see
other
that
side of
one.
him. Yeah, Martin was on the other side of him with a dressed in his ranger outfit, kind of looking at him suspiciously, like "Don't touch my
Like,
woman,
hey,
don't touch my elf." You know,
Mind the elf.
way way too much.
wow, man, Christina, I know you're getting tired, so say a few last words.
That sounds ominous.
I know.
So your last words, Christina.
Your last words. A few last words.
No, he's very right.
Last
Martin
word.
says
Our
it's just
Father.
after 2 a.m. Martin says he set the alarm for 9 a.m. So the
I'm
later I go to
googling
bed, the
last
less sleep
rites
we're gonna
now.
get.
Oh man,
I pray, I pray. Um, but
everybody,
as
I
and
appreciate you guys coming on. So thank
just
you very
I want to
much.
quickly, Jason, I missed your comment here because my phone, which I was watching comments on, because I'm nearsighted, so I was watching
Comment.
back here. Um, per capita, Jason said per capita with a question. Yeah, per capita basically means if, for example, um, we're talking about people who have skin rashes in a group, and one person out of 10 has a skin rash, and then it's it's 10%, or sorry, 1%.
Mm,
And if one person out of 500 has a skin rash, then it's much smaller. So
right.
when you talk about crime, it's always wiser to talk about per capita. So if a small town has like 3 crimes going on a day, then the big city has 20 crimes going on a day, but the big city is 20 times the population, then it's the same per capita. So that's what I
Mm,
mean by per capita.
okay.
Yeah. So we tend to do a lot of math. Like that's the way I grew up is everything's per capita. So
Well, just like you, she always wanted to do her she's becoming a math teacher. Math
no,
whiz.
I was trained as a reporter. You you tell stories on a fair perspective.
Right.
I know we're talking reporters back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we're not there anymore, but that's okay. My brain
Yeah,
stands.
you couldn't get a job in American reporting.
It, getting
Oh,
a job now
honey.
in America is not even easy. It's not
Oh,
Yeah.
easy anymore.
honey. I could
It's
so
not
do it,
easy.
but the question is, do I want to do it?
Hmm.
I bet you want to do it. I bet you.
Oh, it might be interesting doing some reporting in the States, but that's a whole other life.
Mm,
Yeah, making you can always fall back on your roots, right?
No, I haven't dyed those recently. But
please don't fall on your head again, Christina.
I mean the reporting roots. That's what I'm saying. Your
oh,
reporting roots,
no, I had
news reporting roots.
I switched to acting because being a reporter had become very overwhelming, looking at all of those facts and having to report them straight faced. I
Mm,
mean, I would get upset over things, and it just got to a point where it was just like,
oh, okay.
yeah, I don't even watch the news anymore. I get warnings on my phone telling me how I'm supposed to behave. But anyway,
No, but
I
what you do now actually is amazing. So I'm proud of you and Martin.
thank
I'm
you,
proud of you guys.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully, the new web page with our online store will be up and running by the end of next week. I hope. I'm now back into a waiting queue because we didn't give them the information they needed to set up the page.
Hmm.
But I am hoping on Haps that I can get the $40 sponsorship goal in total because I want to be able to I want to be able to do the discounts and I want to be able to do I want to get rid of my Patreon. I just want to get rid of my Patreon. I don't like
You're
it
not
anymore.
happy with it, right?
It's too much for us to figure out the set value for something. It's easier
Hmm.
for us to do a discount. And
Right.
Patreon 2 years ago put across a rule where you can't do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
So we had to completely reformat our tiers, and we lost all our patrons. We've only got
Wow.
4 left. Because for them it makes more sense that if they pitch in $5, they
Mm,
get a 5% discount. If they
right.
pitch in $10, they get a 10% discount. So they get
Mm,
the custom quote, and then we knock the discount off.
right.
Um, and then Patreon said we can't let you do that anymore. You're not allowed. It's against the rules.
Okay.
So we had to completely reformat, and we lost everyone. So I'm hoping that if I can do it here once I reach a minimum of 40, and it'll only
Right.
be the sponsors who get that privilege, then we'll
Mm-hmm.
be doing a sliding scale as to what the discount is. And they'll get discounts on their quotes or on items we've already pre-made.
Right.
Um, and I will look at Patreon and go,
I can see that Eric's getting tired.
yeah,
No,
and I'm
no,
trying to
I'm
focus.
like,
Come on.
no, I stay. You know, I stay up late, Vince. You know, I
I
stay up
know,
late
but
because I'm a night owl.
you just yawned already. You just yawned.
But we'll
Yeah,
look
Everybody,
at
give
I
up
mean,
your
and
invite handle.
I mean, never mind. Never mind.
Martin's very much asleep behind me. He must have been really, really tired because,
I know. Poor
um,
guy.
he's been sleeping through all of this. We turned on the lamp, which is why the lighting changed so that the overhead lights aren't in his face.
Right.
Uh, but uh, but yeah, he said he set the alarm for 9, and
Mm-hmm.
it's now 2. Hang on, it is now 2:18 in the
Okay.
morning.
I know
So
you
and
gotta
I have
sleep
to go to
now,
bed.
Christina. I know you gotta sleep. So
Yeah,
thank you for being here, Christina. You're an amazing person.
thank
Give
you,
my
Dawn, and you can
give
pick
my
me up
regards to
whenever you want.
Martin. Give my regards to Martin.
I will. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, you take care of yourselves, okay?
We will. Thank you,
And
Christina.
Dawn, talk to me whenever you want, hon.
Okay. Cool.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.
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 So Don,
And then there
since
was
let's
four.
And there was four of us. Yeah. Let's
oh
do
man.
let's do getting tired and you want to go to sleep or what?
I know
No, I
you're getting
do.
tired
I
yourself.
do need to play my minimum one Highland bagpipe tune or tune on Highland bagpipes, even though I still played an hour and a half today on my small pipes. But
Uh-huh.
what is it? Today is something like 2 years, 2 days playing at least one tune every day. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I
All right,
like you guys,
guys.
but I'm not going to blow that run. So
Well, I will definitely check out your broadcast on that troll. So I'll actually watch your replay and keep an eye out on that person. So
Yeah,
yeah.
the person's already banned, Vince. The person
I know.
is banned already.
Yeah, well, again, though, they're banned, but all it takes is establishing another profile. And I mean, even then, you could have a person who establishes different personas with some different picture that they grab from the
Right.
internet every
Mm-hmm.
time, or whatever. I mean, and that kind of goes back to where I'm, call it cyberpunk or whatever, saying that if we had a unique identifier that you can't access the net without this, so behave like along those lines, or whatever. But it doesn't hurt to keep a mental note of who some of these folks are. I think about the only thing that anyone can do is hopefully have that atmosphere, culture, that atmosphere that I saw earlier, where 3 or 4 of you turned around and said, "No, knock it off."
Right.
But she's so far as I know banned from sorry, I'm forgetting Haps. I was trying to call this Twitter because I've been trying to do stuff with that profile so much lately. Anyway, the thing though is, I mean, she's been banned. As far as I know, the comments are still there because I blocked her. I can't see those. I'm sure if I unblock
Right.
those, and I can see them. I don't need to because it really is not something that hurt me. It really is something that amused me.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that she could have gotten my goat with some other material, but that wasn't it. So I mean, I don't know what her problem was, but at least I can say it might be worth a laugh for you to go and take a look at her OP
Yeah.
moose line or whatever.
You should wear a moose costume for Halloween, dude.
That prompted me to look on Google. I'm getting signal problems again. That prompted me to go and take a look at Google Images for obese moose pictures, and I found some. So overweight moose, whatever it was. So I guess she knows the appropriate height weight proportions of moose. So
well,
right.
I know you're getting some signal problems. So if you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, I actually moved my computer and stood up here some time ago just because this should maybe give me slightly better signal. So yeah, I'm limping along today. So, but we'll work on it. It's been an interesting topic, though. I found myself far more intrigued than I thought I was going to going into this. So I'm glad that you guys held this and talk about it.
I'm actually trying to get this out so that way they'll be aware of it. You know, I'm trying to get this out.
Right. Well, and I mean, for whatever my 2 cents are, if that helps to encourage that atmosphere of people stepping up, like what I saw earlier today, I mean, maybe the seed for that. Who knows?
Yeah, because I hope Haps will do some sort of diligence to put an end to this stuff.
If they can, I mean, I think all they can do is try and curtail it, but not. You're never going to stop it because people are just people.
Yeah. All right, Don. You take care of yourself. Have a good one.
We'll have a good night.
Good night.
No doubt.
And then it was 3.
And now we are 3. And I know Vince's food is getting cold.
Yeah, I gotta eat my food.
Yeah, and we were supposed to be on video chat at 11:30, so let's make it
we'll make it Saturday night. Saturday night.
Let's make it let me think. Let me think here. Would midnight be alright? Like me and BJ can video chat, and when you're done, join us, Vince. Me and BJ will video chat.
Yeah, well, I think it would be best if we do like Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I mean we were supposed to do it tonight, but like go eat your food. Me and BJ will talk for a little bit, and then when you're done, come and join.
All right.
Me and BJ will have some funnies going on when you get in.
All right. BJ and Brian go via chat, and I'll join you too soon. Okay.
Yeah.
So I appreciate Christina and Martin, Don, you, and BJ. Everybody, thank you for the awards and thank you for all the comments. I appreciate it. And I'll definitely see you guys in the Facebook Messenger side.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Peace.
Later.
Well, I'm glad. See ya. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.